The Baltimore Ravens are riding a wave of momentum that few could have predicted at the start of the season, coming off a pivotal week. It feels almost surreal to reflect on where this team has been and where they are now. Week 17 provided everything fans could have hoped for, and then some. The drama began with the Cleveland Browns pulling off a crucial win against the Pittsburgh Steelers, a game that immediately breathed new life into Baltimore's playoff hopes. Watching the Browns dominate early with a 10-0 lead was a sight to behold. But it was far from straightforward. The defense was relentless, refusing to give Pittsburgh any footing. And with key Steelers players sidelined, the Ravens' path forward suddenly became much clearer. It was almost cinematic how events unfolded, sometimes in football. You need the stars to align just right, and this week, they certainly did. Cleveland's victory didn't just keep Baltimore in the mix. It also reshaped the playoff landscape in ways that favored the Ravens. The Bengals' win over the Cardinals, coupled with the Bills' defeat, meant that Baltimore's potential opponents in the postseason were now significantly different than what many had been anticipating. The top of the league shifted slightly, and in this kind of league, every movement matters. The Ravens, despite having no games on Sunday, benefited tremendously from these outcomes. A scenario that could only be described as fortuitous. That said, rooting for the Browns was far from enjoyable. Watching them offer chance after chance to the Steelers was nothing short of agonizing. Pittsburgh's resilience, or perhaps comedic misfortune, made the game a tense spectacle. Yet ultimately, it worked out perfectly for Baltimore. The team's focus now shifts entirely to their own responsibilities, knowing that they've been handed a lifeline but still needing to prove themselves on the field. The Ravens' Week 17 matchup against the Green Bay Packers highlighted exactly what this team has long been capable of when playing to its strengths. The injuries and setbacks that have plagued Green Bay did not matter. Baltimore imposed its will in a way that reminded everyone of the team's core identity, with Derrick Henry carrying the bulk of the load, running relentlessly and setting a physical tone. The Ravens demonstrated the kind of football that has historically defined them. It was a return to form, an embrace of a strategy that prioritizes the run game and physically dominates the opposition. Watching Henry rack up yards with consistency, breaking through tackles and wearing down defenders, was not only effective, but also a statement. The offensive line, often overlooked, played a pivotal role, opening lanes and providing the kind of support that allowed Henry and Tyler Huntley to execute flawlessly. Huntley himself managed the passing game with precision, completing 16 of 20 attempts for over 100 yards and a touchdown. It was a display of disciplined game management, complementing Henry's historic performance of 116 yards on 36 carries. And for touchdowns, Cat and Mitchell also contributed on the ground, adding another layer of effectiveness to the rushing attack. Together, these performances underscored a simple truth: the Ravens' formula for success lies in their ground game and the physical domination that comes with it. Seeing this team return to that identity after moments of deviation during the season was refreshing. It wasn't just about the statistics. It was about asserting control over a game from the first snap to the last. Baltimore's execution against Green Bay was methodical and brutal, a reminder that when this team leans into what it does best, it becomes nearly unstoppable. The offensive line deserves particular recognition. They set the tone, controlling the line of scrimmage and allowing the skilled players to thrive. While the defense had its moments of vulnerability, the offensive front gave the Ravens the foundation they needed to dictate the pace of the game. This week also sparked discussions around quarterback dynamics, with Lamar Jackson's absence due to a back injury creating space for debates about Tyler Huntley's role. Huntley's performance against Green Bay was exceptional, showing his capacity to manage the game efficiently and maintain offensive momentum. However, the conversation surrounding whether Huntley should start over a healthy Lamar Jackson is one that invites scrutiny. Jackson, even at less than full strength, offers a level of versatility and field impact that is difficult to replicate. His presence forces defenses to account for the entire field, opening opportunities that extend beyond what a backup quarterback might generate. There's a clear distinction between playing effectively as a backup and the unique challenges Lamar presents when on the field. Fans and analysts alike have been quick to weigh in, often influenced by recency bias. But the context is essential. Jackson's season has had its ups and downs, certainly, but much of the difficulty stems from factors beyond his control, including offensive line performance and injuries. The Ravens' offensive line has recently shown an impressive resurgence, creating scenarios where Jackson could operate at his best if healthy enough to play. His ability to create explosive plays, escape pressure, and manipulate defensive schemes is unparalleled on this roster, even if he returns at 70 or 80% health. The strategic advantage he brings over Huntley is substantial. The discourse is lively, yes, but it underscores the complexity of football decision-making at the highest level. Coaches, players, and analysts must balance immediate game readiness with long-term strategic implications. Jackson's presence on the field not only elevates the team's offensive capabilities, but also sets the tone for the entire unit. The Ravens are at a crucial juncture, where every decision carries significant weight, and the outcome of Week 18 will hinge on both preparation and execution. Beyond individual performances, this stretch of the season has emphasized resilience and adaptability. Starting at 1-5, few could have imagined the Ravens in their current position, with a real chance to contend for the division title and secure a meaningful playoff berth. Each game has tested the team's character, from injuries to inconsistent play and the relentless pressure of a win-now league. Yet, Week 17 demonstrated that when Baltimore adheres to its core principles, dominating the ground game, executing methodically, and leveraging its offensive weapons, the results speak for themselves. The synergy between Derrick Henry's physical dominance, Tyler Huntley's competent management, and a revitalized offensive line created an environment where success was inevitable. The team's identity, long defined by resilience and versatility, shone through. Fans watching the game could see the culmination of careful planning, in-game adjustments, and sheer determination. While debates over quarterback play continue, the underlying message is clear: when Baltimore plays to its strengths, it is a formidable force. The opportunity to carry this momentum into Week 18 against Pittsburgh is immense. The stakes are high and every detail matters. From player health to tactical execution, the Ravens have proven they can rise to the occasion, and this next challenge will be no different. The excitement of recent weeks has also highlighted the ripple effects across the league. Wins and losses by other teams have reshaped potential matchups, impacting how Baltimore approaches its remaining games. The strategic considerations now extend beyond internal performance to the broader context of opponents and playoff scenarios. The Ravens find themselves in a rare position, benefiting from favorable outcomes elsewhere, yet they cannot rely solely on external factors. Their preparation, execution, and adherence to the formula that worked against Green Bay will define their path forward. In the modern NFL, moments like these are critical. Teams that seize opportunities, adapt to circumstances, and enforce their identity tend to succeed. Baltimore has demonstrated that capability, showing both resilience and tactical acumen. The culmination of these factors: dominant rushing, quarterback management, offensive line execution, and strategic awareness positions the Ravens as one of the most intriguing teams entering the final week. The blend of history, performance, and situational advantage sets the stage for a dramatic conclusion to the regular season, where every yard, every decision, and every player contribution can shift the trajectory of the team's journey. As we move into the discussion surrounding Lamar Jackson, the intensity surrounding his potential return has reached a fever pitch. The debate is not just about his health, but also about his role relative to Tyler Huntley, whose performance against Green Bay was both efficient and impressive. Huntley's composure, accuracy, and ability to manage the game in a high-pressure scenario were critical to Baltimore's success. But the conversation often loses sight of the broader context. Lamar Jackson's unique skill set and the disruptive threat he brings to any defense. Even when not fully healthy, Jackson demands attention in ways no backup can, stretching defenses and opening opportunities across the field. It is not simply a question of who has performed better in the most recent game. It is a matter of understanding how each quarterback alters the dynamics of the team and the opponent. Jackson's mobility, his ability to extend plays, and his precision under pressure cannot be understated. Even in the face of injuries, he is the linchpin of Baltimore's offensive strategy, and the team's success in Week 18 may hinge on his presence. The debates across media platforms, from analysts to fans, reflect the passion surrounding this team, but also highlight the misunderstandings that can arise when recency bias overshadows context. Jackson's season, while inconsistent in some eyes, is far more nuanced than headline narratives suggest. Injuries, an evolving offensive line, and strategic experimentation all contribute to the complex tapestry of his performance. The offensive line's resurgence in recent weeks cannot be overstated. This unit, often the unsung hero of Baltimore's identity, has provided the protection and consistency Lamar needs to thrive. When Huntley was under center, the line performed admirably. But the question remains, how does Jackson benefit from this renewed stability? The answer is simple yet profound. A quarterback of Jackson's caliber, protected by a cohesive offensive front, becomes a force of nature, capable of dismantling even the most prepared defenses, every gap open, every blitz picked up, and every block sustained translates directly into explosive plays and sustained drives. The Ravens' formula, when executed correctly, is a potent combination of power, precision, and adaptability. Derrick Henry's dominance in the ground game complements Jackson's dual-threat ability, creating an offense that is difficult to anticipate and even harder to stop. The balance between strategic ground control and dynamic quarterback play is what separates good teams from elite contenders. And Baltimore has the pieces in place to execute this balance to perfection. Week 18 presents an intriguing and high-stakes matchup against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Historically, these games carry weight far beyond the standings. Rivalries infuse energy, intensity, and pressure that few other games can replicate. For the Ravens, the scenario is amplified by the playoff implications. Every snap, every adjustment, every decision will be scrutinized, not just by analysts and fans, but by the players themselves, who understand the gravity of the moment. The Steelers' defense, known for its resilience and complexity, will provide a stern test for Baltimore's renewed identity. With Derrick Henry pounding the line and Lamar Jackson potentially orchestrating plays from the pocket and beyond, the Ravens' challenge is to impose their will without deviation. Week 17 offered a blueprint. Now, it's a matter of replicating and enhancing that performance under even greater pressure. The synergy between Jackson, Henry, Huntley, and the offensive line will be critical, as will the supporting cast on both offense and defense. Baltimore's approach must be disciplined, precise, and relentless, ensuring that they capitalize on every opportunity while minimizing mistakes. The quarterback debate, while heated, also underscores a larger theme in professional football: the importance of adaptability and trust in one's roster. Coaches and players must navigate injury management, performance expectations, and strategic imperatives simultaneously. Jackson's potential return raises questions not only about his readiness, but also about the optimal deployment of the entire team. Huntley's success demonstrates the depth and resilience of the Ravens, but it does not diminish Jackson's irreplaceable impact. Decisions will likely hinge on detailed assessments of health, mobility, and the ability to execute under pressure. The coaching staff's role is to weigh these factors judiciously, balancing immediate results with the long-term goal of securing victory and playoff positioning. Baltimore's handling of this situation will provide insight into both leadership and tactical acumen at the highest level. Before we dive in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Your support keeps us bringing you the latest news on the Baltimore Ravens. And hey, drop your take in the comments below. We want to hear from the flock. The NFL woke up buzzing after a stunning whisper began to circulate around Baltimore. The Ravens may be on the verge of pulling off one of the boldest moves of the season, according to growing locker room chatter and league-wide speculation. Deebo Samuel is being linked to the Ravens in what insiders describe as a statement move, orchestrated personally by John Harbaugh. Nothing has been confirmed, but the mere possibility has already sent defensive coordinators into panic mode. Samuel's name alone carries weight. He is widely viewed as one of the most versatile and physically intimidating weapons in football, capable of lining up anywhere and turning routine plays into nightmares for defenses. The idea of him wearing purple and black has sparked endless debate about how such a pairing could redefine Baltimore's offensive identity. Sources close to this situation suggest that Harbaugh has grown tired of half measures and is determined to surround his core with players who force opponents to adjust before the opening snap. What makes the rumor even more intriguing is the sense that this would not be a symbolic acquisition but a declaration of intent. Harbaugh is known inside league circles as a coach who does not forgive stagnation. When he sees an opportunity to gain an edge, he pushes hard, regardless of the noise. Bringing in a player like Samuel would signal that the Ravens are willing to disrupt the status quo and embrace controlled chaos on offense. Around the league, scouts are already imagining the matchup problems. Samuel's physical running style, combined with Baltimore's traditionally aggressive schemes, could create a hybrid attack that blurs the line between receiver and runner. Defenders would be forced to hesitate, and in the NFL, Hesitation is fatal, even rival executives admit, off the record, that such a move would instantly shift perceptions of the Ravens from contender to outright menace. For now, it remains a rumor, but it is the kind that refuses to die. In Baltimore, hope is quietly building, and across the NFL, defenses are watching closely, wondering if the next announcement will confirm their worst fears. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay in the loop with exclusive news on our Baltimore Ravens, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. We'd love to hear what the flock thinks. Drop your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next one.